Okay, there we are. Good morning, Kyle. Everybody, we are
Good
so
morning.
excited to have you today. Today, we're going to talk about something everybody wants to know about, and that is what are the differences between the downtown neighborhoods, River North, Gold Coast, Streeterville, the Loop? Where do you live? What are the differences? What's it like to live there? Today, we're going to answer those questions, aren't we?
We are.
So,
Tell us who we are. Tell us who we are.
I'm Ann Rossley. You're Kyle Harvey. We sell real estate in downtown Chicago. Today, we're going to talk about real estate downtown Chicago, but we can talk about anything y'all want to talk about. Just let us know. Now, if you're tuning in and you're used to seeing our stats right at the beginning, sorry, not today. You're going to have to either fast forward if you're watching on a tape or hold on till a little bit later in the show and we'll talk a little bit more about statistics. We typically do that the first week of the month and we'll get to it. But can I just go right into it? Today, we're going to talk about the big four. And by that, we mean Gold Coast, River North, Streeterville, and the Loop.
Okay, these are the big four luxury neighborhoods.
Right. And today we're talking condos and co-ops. We're not going to talk about single-family homes.
If we did single-family homes, I think the Loop would fall off and Lincoln Park would jump on.
That's exactly right. There are no single families in the Loop, but there are a couple of townhomes. But that's about it. So here's the cool thing. I thought this was a fun fact. Regardless of the neighborhood, you don't get a significant difference in median sales price. Did that surprise you?
Yes, that surprises me. I guess because no, maybe it doesn't. Yeah. The mix. It's the mix that gets you down to the median. Yeah.
Exactly right. So and I think you have more upper bracket in Gold Coast and Streeterville, but you've also got more lower end.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes. You've got well, actually River North also has a lot of 1-bedroom, 2-bedrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. So when for purposes of this, if the median sales price is around 400, technically 435, we said that twice that would be the beginning of luxury, but that's really the entry to luxury. 800 to $1 million is like a 2-bedroom, right?
A 1-bedroom luxury, but yes,
could be at the 1,000 per square foot, right? Heart of luxury is $1 million to $2 million, and $2 million up is the trophy and luxury. So this is what one person decided to give them. What do you think about these? Gold Coast is the quiet, classic lakefront elegance.
That's how it's perceived, absolutely, and I think it is because it's got it's got older buildings generally, and it's leafy streets, so that's what gives it that classic elegance feeling.
Yeah, River North is galleries, dining, some of the newer towers, luxury boutique buildings, lofts. It's, the happening part of town, if you will.
Yep. And Streeterville is often confused with the Gold Coast, especially the north end of Streeterville. The south end of Streeterville has more of a River North vibe, but the north end is very classic, older buildings, really quite elegant.
Yeah. And the Loop, today we're going to break down the Loop because the Loop is very confusing to people who don't understand it. It's actually a couple of different worlds. It's the New East Side, where we have that new construction cul-de-sac kind of area. And then you've got the cultural mile. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's talk Gold Coast first.
This is okay. Interesting that the median sold price is $1,240,000. That's interesting.
You don't expect it to be that high, do you?
Yeah. Tell us, for this purpose, is it that the Gold Coast, what I consider the Gold Coast, which is North Avenue on the north, really, I think of Oak Street on the south. Do you go all the way to Chicago, or do you go to? I tend to stop
I stop at Oak Street. You've got kind of that. I know what you're talking about. You've got that no man's land kind of the Cathedral District, which is
Yeah.
not really River North, not really Gold Coast, right? Or like an 1122 Dearborn or a 55 Delaware. They're not really
I
Gold
think of,
Coast.
and I think of like 9 Walton, not as Gold Coast, but more as but close. You could pull it in, but it's not really. So
Right.
yeah,
But it's
I
not River North really either.
no, it's that weird
Yeah.
anomalous zone. I don't know. Anyway,
Anomalous zone. I like that. Couple of things here.
uh-huh.
$509 per square foot. I
Yeah.
think that sounds very approachable, doesn't it? When you're looking at places like the St. Regis at 1,000, and then
Yeah. And the reason I think this is so low is because of the co-ops, which generally sell for less per square foot. These beautiful, large, very elegant buildings that have high HOAs, high assessments, but you can purchase them at a price per square foot that's lower.
yeah, yeah. And of
Yeah.
course, only 8% is 2015 and newer. Lots
Yeah.
of older housing stock in the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
All right, River North, median 270, median sales price. You know what just dawned on me?
Hmm.
When I did the analysis, I only fed at 800 and up. That's why it's higher and not our typical condo median sales price at
Well,
475.
no. I completely understood this as the
Okay.
luxury. Yeah.
All right. Interestingly, 562 is the highest per square foot of the 4 neighborhoods.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think that's because there are a lot of smaller units, like a
Yeah.
2-bedroom that's 1,000 square feet. 78 days. It's the slowest of the 4 to get to contract, and 24% is 2015 or newer. All right, here's Streeterville.
Mm-hmm. Well, Streeterville, I think I love it, Born from a Shipwreck. I didn't know this, Anne. Tell us about this story. Riverboat, okay, and claimed it.
Cap Streeter. Cap Streeter
Yeah.
ran aground, and
Uh-huh.
he was kind of this salty character, and he just said, okay, this is my land. And he filled it in with sand, and he made kind of this little fiefdom there. And he claimed that it was his own area, separate from Chicago. Now he lost, but it bears his name. Isn't that funny?
I love that.
Well, now here's another little known fact.
Huh.
I don't know if you know Gail Spreen. She's one of our colleagues in real estate. She sells in Streeterville. Her husband actually, who has passed, I'm sorry to say, actually created the statue of Cap Streeter that stands in the neighborhood to this day.
Where does it stand? Because I don't think I've noticed it.
It's over by the riverfront.
Cool.
By the river. Yeah.
Huh.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
It is cool. So Streeterville for a long time was warehouses, and for a long time was land that was really unappealing. And that's really the south of Chicago.
Yeah.
For a long time was businesses, the 860 North Lakeshore Drive was a furniture warehouse, a mart. And there were I remember from growing up, there were big warehouses, vacant lots. The hospital, Northwestern Memorial Hospital, was on some of that ground. But, I remember when CBS, the local CBS affiliate, moved in there because it was cheap land and they could build a big studio.
Yeah.
McClurg Court was the first rental, I think it started as rental building that came in there. And it was so interesting because it had tennis courts. It had some commercial in it. Yeah. It was the first sort of development in that area. But the north end from Chicago to East Lakeshore Drive has long been quite elegant buildings, some newer buildings, and now a lot of hotels, but much more like the Gold Coast in terms of age of buildings, sort of feeling in that, and it's a very quiet neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this neighborhood, it's interesting. Very similar to the Gold Coast. Only 7% is 2015 or newer, and it's $536 per square foot.
But going back, just go back for 1 second. There are a bunch, sort of like the Gold Coast, but there are a bunch of buildings that were built in the 60s and 70s in there.
Yes.
And there are hotels that I think are going to go residential soon.
Such as?
I think, well, there's one on Walton. I think it's Walton. It may be on Delaware.
The Sonesta or something, right?
Yeah, something like that's going to go. And I believe, we'll see. I believe the Drake is going to be redeveloped as something else and possibly residential.
That would be a sad turn of history.
No, if they could make it something better, because right now it's just sort of a crummy hotel.
No. Some of my happiest memories are at the Drake. Oh,
well,
my
you can
God.
still have happy memories, but it's anyway.
You know me. I'm a geek for history. But
I love it.
I get it. All right. The Loop. The Loop is a weird neighborhood because you really need to understand the ins and outs of it to really get it. You got the New East Side, which is where the St. Regis, the Cirrus, the Aqua. That's really the dog-friendly heart of downtown Chicago. Then you got the Cultural Mile, which is the Michigan Avenue facing Grant Park and Art Institute, Symphony Center. There are some grand old buildings that have been renovated, and there are some new ones as well, such as the Legacy and the Heritage. And then you've got the Inland Loop, that which is behind Michigan Avenue, closer to the offices. And that's kind of a third area. But 51% of this whole entire neighborhood was built 2015 or newer.
Wow.
Let me just go back here a second.
Yeah.
New East Side. It's called New East Side, but there's the Lakeshore East component of it. That's all of that. The new stuff, whether it's 340 Randolph, St. Regis, and the others as well, like the Chandler and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the non-Lakeshore East, which is the older, like the 400 Randolph, which is Outer Drive East. Remember, for us old Chicagoans, that's when the Outer Drive actually went on the other side of that building.
Yes.
And it had that crazy S-curve. And then Harbor Point, which looks like Lake Point Tower, and Park Shore. Those are like the older ones. That's New East Side. That's not Lakeshore East.
Where is Lake Point Tower? Is that considered in the New East Side, or is that?
Oh, I think that's kind of like your 9 Walton. It's an island unto itself. I don't know what neighborhood you would call that.
Yeah, I think it's in
Michigan, Lake Michigan neighborhood.
It's in 8008. It's on the near north side, because whenever I do the hot sheet, it shows up in the 8008 hot sheet.
But you wouldn't call it Streeterville. Yeah, I guess you would call it Streeterville, I guess.
It's unto itself.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Lakeshore Drive, obviously, I think everybody knows what building it is at Navy Pier, but it is like a total enclave unto itself. It's got its own, like grocery, restaurant, basketball courts, pool, and the whole thing. You don't have to leave the building. And a lot of people don't. There are a lot of celebrities that live there because it's naturally private.
Do you remember Sammy Sosa had like a big apartment there with all his kids?
Oh my gosh, you don't know this story. Are you ready to be blown away?
Yes.
Okay. You know that Tom and I used to live in your building on the what floor? 21st floor or something? 22nd floor. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't even remember. Sammy Sosa came to look at our place when it was for sale, and I met him. Yeah. He didn't choose my condo. He went to Lake Point Shower.
He needed a lot more space. I think he had like 10 children. I mean, he needed more space.
That was my brush with fame. That and meeting Donald Trump at the car board of directors years ago when he was married to Marla Maples.
Oh my gosh.
I have a picture taken with Donald back from that.
Oh my God.
I know. What a weird life. It's kind of a Forrest Gump kind of life.
Yeah, there we go.
And I am Forrest Gump because I'm a nobody that just brushes up with these people. It's kind of funny.
I love it.
All right, I suppose we should move on here. All right.
Yeah.
So the one
Oh,
thing though that's weird is, when I do like neighborhood stats and I go, okay, the loop is at this price.
hmm,
Okay, this slide is calling me out. It's a mirage because if you look to the right, those bar graphs,
yeah.
new Lakeshore East towers are like 790 a square foot. Everything else in the loop is just like Streeterville River North. It's 540 a square foot,
Hmm.
right? So to say that the loop is 699 per square foot and is the fancy pants part of town is really not telling the story, because you need to tease out that part of the
And,
new
and those
construction.
buildings, there are several buildings that you've named that are over $1,000 per square foot that pull up the
Yes.
new Lakeshore East buildings. They really yank it up.
Well, very good point, because if you're buying at the Chandler or,
Yeah.
on West Shore, it's not going to be that. The more, what do you
No.
call it, stable buildings in that area, the ones that have been there longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if you buy at 340 Randolph with the North View, it's not going to be that pricey either. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. So here are the four neighborhoods, and let's just put them side by side to recap what we've talked about and share and compare.
Hmm.
Um, The Loop is the highest sale to list price, but again, I think that's because it's a lot of new construction.
Hmm.
But if you look at Streeterville River North Gold Coast, you're still sitting at about 97% of list price for luxury.
Yes.
Remember that,
Yeah.
folks? I mean,
Everything is.
yeah, nobody's coming in and throwing lowball offers and getting them accepted here.
Mm-mm.
Market time ranges from 51 to 78 days. And I think the real story is which ones have 2015 or newer housing stock,
Mhm.
right?
No,
I think
I
that's
agree.
really the fascinating part of this, to me anyway, with
Yeah.
River North being 24% and the Loop being 51%. And here's this too. If you really want to get $1 million to 2 million, your greater choices are the Loop or Gold Coast. But, and I know, Kyle, you'll agree with me because it's true.
Mhm.
If you really look at the ultra luxury, the over 2 million, that's really in the Gold Coast and Streeterville. River North has basically none, and the Loop has some with the St. Regis and Sierras, but it's really Gold Coast and Streeterville.
I
Oh, I
have
forgot.
found.
We've got more stuff to talk about. Talk about history.
Oh, yeah, do
Yes.
the history. Go ahead.
Well, you can talk about this, co-ops versus
Mhm.
condos.
Yes. Yes. And people who watch us know that in a co-op you get a different type of ownership than you do from in a condo. In a condo you get like a deed that you do with a single family home, and in a co-op you get shares in a corporation. The cooperative is a corporation, and you get shares in it and a lease to the unit, a long-term lease to the unit. And so that difference in ownership drives a bit the loan. It used to be that for co-ops you had to buy things with cash, but now you're able in most buildings to finance some portion or all of the purchase, actually some portion of the purchase, and you pay more for a loan with a co-op because the security is different,
Yeah.
trickier for lenders, and not all lenders will issue mortgages for shares in a corporation.
But remember, folks, but condo law was invented in the 70s. So
Yeah,
if you wanted to own property, you had to have a co-op. And in the
yeah,
very beginning, what would happen is these groups of people, investors, would come together and they would build the building. And then they
yeah.
would each own a share of the building. And that's kind of how co-ops came to be until condo law was invented. But yeah,
And
they are in the Gold Coast and a few in Streeterville, none
and
in
some
River North or the Loop.
and some in Lincoln Park, and some
Right.
in Lakeview. But here's the thing: they appear to be much more expensive than condos sometimes in the luxury market. Because remember, these are mostly luxury buildings. They appear that they are more expensive, but in fact, the reason they appear on a monthly basis to be more expensive is they have the taxes already factored in. Because of a corporation, they allocate the taxes in their yearly budget, and you pay it month to month. When you tease that out, they're very comparable often to a
luxury condo. Yeah.
luxury condo that has the same level of staff.
Yes,
now, there are luxury condos, particularly in River North, that have very low levels of staff.
Yeah.
And so those are just cheaper,
right,
on a monthly basis. Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to talk a moment about the landmark Lakefront. And so again, this is Gold Coast Streeterville. And we've got some major historic landmarks, Astor Street.
Mhm.
East Lakeshore Drive is one of the iconic views of Chicago, right?
Yep. None of those are coming down.
What's that?
I said, none of those are coming down.
No, they're not. And then the 7 houses, the surviving mansions on Lakeshore Drive. And then you've got the counterpoint, which is the Mies van der Rohe buildings, which are the 860, 880 co-ops and the 900, 910 condos. So
Yeah.
That's kind of the landmark districts that we have in the area. And as Kyle was saying, staff is what the real luxury is, folks. And we did a thing before where a little statistical analysis where we said that pools really only contributed about 5 cents to your monthly assessment. So we're coming back to that again and saying that the real luxury when you're buying is the staff in the building, and that will translate to higher monthly costs with your HOAs.
And I'm going to tell you, staff is lovely. I mean, I can't imagine not having a team of people taking care of my building, because I cannot.
I thought this was fun. Are you ready? 106 pools downtown, including the famous geodesic dome pool at Outer Drive East, which was in the movie with Tom Hanks and Jackie Gleason. Spas and fitness are in every new building now, folks, and they're just getting fancier and fancier. We see wine rooms and tennis courts, and rooftop terraces are like off the charts now with fire pits and grills and special areas to sit. It's almost a must-have now, wouldn't you say, in terms of new construction?
Absolutely.
Okay. The other thing is dogs. When I first started selling real estate, and it was just like Condex, and it was the Gold Coast and Streeterville, so many buildings didn't allow dogs, and if they did, 25 or 30 pound was the max. Today, these buildings are being built for dog owners, like the St. Regis with its spa, and they have dog runs, and even older buildings like mine are trying to figure out how to have a dog run, to attract buyers. So,
and I have to tell you that my buyers who have dogs, and a lot of people are moving out of their houses into attached properties because their dogs can't climb stairs anymore. And they are like, where do I walk my dog at night? And so these buildings that you're talking about, the new ones especially, are designed to have an answer to that question.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how the historic buildings that did not allow dogs are adapting to this new era where the Americans with Disabilities Act requires you to allow dogs if they're service animals or emotional support animals. And dogs are coming into buildings, and whether they tip to trying to change their rules to allow dogs, because I'm going to tell you right now, to all the people who run buildings, it will add so much to the value of the units if you allow dogs. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Well,
and the other thing to talk about here is everybody wants to age in place. It used to be, in my parents' and certainly my grandparents' era, they would retire to places with other people who were older, especially in Chicago. People don't want to do that until they really need to. They want to age in place, be on one level, have high service, and be able to enjoy all the culture that Chicago has. So condo living with high staff is the graceful way to age, wouldn't you say?
It allows you to wait too long to move into assisted living.
Oh, geez, there she goes,
No.
folks.
No.
It allows you to wait too long.
It really does, because people then cannot walk into assisted living and they're refused. And then it becomes,
Yeah,
you all know the word that I'm thinking. It becomes a nightmare. But yes.
a show. It becomes a show.
Yes, it becomes a blank show. Yeah.
Okay, so we put together this little vignette. If you want the most space for your dollar, Gold Coast and Streeterville is where to look.
Yes.
Quiet elegance, history and co-ops, Gold Coast. Most creative energy, best dining, River North. Newest full amenity construction would be the Loop or River North. Lakefront with the park at your door would be Streeterville. Culture as your front yard would be the Loop. And best life for a dog would be Lakeshore East.
I think that's a great summary.
Does that make sense? Okay. Thank
Totally.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So that's that. So you've got
Okay,
some
let's look at some
ultra
pretty
luxury
properties.
properties to show us, don't you?
I do. So I'm just showing you properties on the Gold Coast and in Streeterville. So pull up number 1, Gold Coast. This beauty is 1530 North State Parkway. It's a duplex, 12 and 13. It has 7,500 square feet. And so let me just start. All 4 properties are very specific to the owners, and you will enjoy them for their specificity. Very old world charm. This is 6 bedrooms, 6.5, full baths, 2 half baths over 2 floors. It is
Whoa.
very old world beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous
Oh,
kitchen.
what a glorious
I wanna live in that
kitchen.
kitchen. I'll stay in that kitchen. The HOA.
Wait, I gotta say this. Wait. You
Hmm?
notice the pot rack above the island? They took down the pots so that for the photographs. Do you see all the
Yes,
hooks over there?
yeah,
Oh, but I
yes.
love that. Oh, I love that. And is that a bar over beyond it with bottles?
I think that is, yes, I think that's where they keep their booze. So it says here that the monthly nut is over 16,000.
Including taxes.
But no, not yet including taxes.
Oh,
Oh, they are. Okay, it is $16,204. So
okay.
easy. Everyone has that. So just some more pictures. And this is the floor plan. This is the first floor. This is the 12th floor. Huge.
Yeah.
And the 13th floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a
So the
glorious
next
apartment. And the
one-
price on that was what?
$5,995. $5,995,000.
It's
So
like, what?
5,000 under 6 million.
Okay.
Okay.
But you know, on a
Yours.
price per square foot basis, it's not much because you've got your monthlies.
And the 7,500 square feet. Good Lord.
Yes.
This is, no, you went too far. Go back to 65 East Goethe. Okay. So this is a duplex at a beautiful boutique building. Now, this building was built in 2000, and it was built with truly no amenities other than staff. And there's a rooftop garden that precisely nobody uses. But it's beautiful. I didn't show you pictures because nobody uses it. So this unit is not, it is a duplex. They aren't full floors, but you'll see that they're glorious. So this is much more in the country French, elegant country French style. But look at their living room and their view of the lake. So they're a short block off the lake, overlooking some of the historic mansions that Anne told you about, the 12 or whatever it is, the 8, whatever that number of historic low-rise mansions that are landmarked. So they get this beautiful view of the lake while not being on Lakeshore Drive. This is the gentleman's office. Beautiful. I mean, imagine he's got a small balcony
And
outside
why are
his.
you saying gentleman's office?
Well, because I know who the
Wow.
people are.
Okay.
So, and the kitchen, I love this kitchen. It's very simple, country French, beautiful kitchen. This is,
Oh,
I know, such a pretty room, with so much light and the views of the lake. This is their dining room. It's a little small, but you could get in there.
oh, goodness gracious. What
And
in
this
the
is,
heck is that ceiling?
that's a TV. It's a projector. I didn't show the screen on the other side. There's a big
Oh,
screen. It's a projector screen. It's beautiful. Listen, you'd all be perfectly happy to have that. It would be tricky,
that is
though.
the weirdest thing I've ever seen. No,
Yeah.
not the weirdest, but to build all that hoo-ha-ha just for a projector screen to hide it so that we can
Yes.
keep it in the French country French style, I guess, right? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the laundry room. Sometimes I like to show you laundry room porn. This is pornographic laundry room. So there are two
Oh, isn't that
laundries, two
look at that.
dryers,
Oh,
sink, storage, folding area,
a folding island.
and then see the hanging rack. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to live here.
Yeah.
So this building does not have a gym. This is their gym in their
This is
apartment.
their private personal gym?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay.
And that's an example of a bedroom. Isn't that I could live in
That's
that
not
bedroom.
the primary, or it is the primary?
I think it is just based on the decoration. There were 60 slides, people. I'm not showing you 60 slides. So I
That's
think this was the
phenomenal. I
primary.
could totally live there. Absolutely. Oh, look at
So
that.
this is the 7th floor, or the 6th floor, and then this is the 7th floor.
Very lovely.
Lovely. Okay,
Very
now let's go
nice.
quickly to so this is One Bennett Park, a beautiful 61st floor unit, very different style, modern. This is one of the buildings that was built in 2000, and when was it finished, Anne? Oh my
boy.
gosh, they don't tell you.
Where does time go?
I think it was like 2010. Maybe it was even late.
No,
it was
later than that.
it was
Later than that.
2018. It was while I was practicing. It's a very new building. Beautiful.
Wasn't it around COVID time?
No, it was before then, but yes.
Maybe 18. Yeah.
Yeah, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh,
Oh, so that's the view south, right? Overlooking the park, and
Yeah.
that's glorious. Very pretty.
I mean, such a pretty kitchen. They also did a great job of injecting color to make it look even more appealing for pictures. This is very well staged, people. This is somebody's office, but the dark
Lovely.
colors suggest it's his office.
And beautiful view out the windows. Yeah.
And a
Corner
north-facing
bedroom.
Yeah, primary. And this is a bathroom.
Oh,
You don't have to have
go back
space.
one shot, would you? Go back one. You see that flooring? That's throughout all the units at One Bennett. They have beautiful floors, I think.
I do.
You know,
I think so.
sometimes developers will cheap out on the floors. I think this developer did a remarkable job. Okay.
So
Thank you.
there was another picture of this bedroom, another angle for this bedroom that also showed that you got the Sears Tower. You saw every iconic building in Chicago from this bedroom.
Oh, that's fun.
And you never have to lower the blinds because nobody's looking in.
That's lovely.
You can take a bath and walk around naked, the whole thing. Now, Anne was right. All of these buildings have amenities, and One Bennett Park has incredible amenities. They have private amenities for the condos, and they have amenities for the rental building that the condo users can use, but
Right.
the renters cannot use the private ones. But so, I mean, that's a nice
Yeah.
pool.
That's a nice pool.
And then an outdoor thing. So this is very pretty. They did not include a floor plan. Note to the real estate agent, the listing agent, put a floor plan. Okay, so then the last one I have. No, the last one I have. This one. This is 199 East Lakeshore Drive, Unit 8W, but it's really a duplex. It's on the market for $4,300,000. and it is highly specific. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this building is it is long rumored that they are considering cooperativing it, turning it into condos. They were not allowed because they didn't own the land when they developed it into a cooperative. So the city only would allow it to be a cooperative. They would not allow it to be a condominium because they didn't own the land. Of course, that changed because the buildings, the Lucien Lagrange 3 buildings on Pearson are on land owned by Northwestern. So that rule is no longer in effect. And 199, if it goes condo, if he deconverts or converts into condos, the values will rise dramatically because of the views, et cetera. So, and they have parking. So this is 199 East Lakeshore Drive, and it's highly specific taste.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, it just, and there are no pictures that don't have highly specific taste being demonstrated.
What are those sconcy things that are like clawing out of the wall?
Yes. Not
yes. What are they? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
This is really fun to look at, though.
Highly specific.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Highly specific.
So what's on the ceiling there? Is that painted with ribs, or is it like a mica slag glass kind of thing?
Mica slag glass something, yeah.
Huh.
That's the bedroom.
Okay, now we're starting to see the
nightmares in there. I think it's Morticia Adams' bedroom.
What's interesting? Wait, go back.
This is the bathroom. I mean, you have to. The next owner is going to have to strip everything.
Don't say that. Somebody out there will love this. They will love this. It's a mosaic extraordinaire. But here's the thing. Go back 2 photos. This is an over $4 million. Look at that. They couldn't even pay for blue sky on their photos. Hello? Okay, I'm being a little snarky here, but folks.
No. I think that's the lake. I think that's the lake. Yeah. No,
my point is it should be blue skies and lake both.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's like you're at 199 East Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah. I think that was the least of their worries.
Oh my goodness. How many square feet again on this?
This is so painful. 4,000.
4,000 square feet at 4.9 million.
2 levels. You know, both on the west side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, let's follow this. I want to see what happens to this property.
That's all I have.
Oh, you had a lot of good stuff. So here's the thing. It is 8:08. So we're not going to go into stats. Everybody, you're going to have to watch us next week to see stats. But this was much more fun anyway. Don't you think? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Please follow us on socials and follow us on YouTube and give us your comments and tell us what you want to know, and we'll bring it up in future shows. We will be here next week, Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.